economic sum, and the balance sheet is given. Let us go to the adjustment. Additional information, we can see that during the year, a machine of book value, okay, of 60,000 was sold for 40,000. Dividend was paid, tax was paid. Okay, the first adjustment I was telling you, it's a machine book value 60,000 was sold for 40. The calculation is very simple. 60 wala asset has been sold for 40, so there's a loss of 20,000, right? So loss of 20,000 is there. Let us put it in the machinery account by bank. I'll have to write over here 40,000 by selling price, right? And the loss amount can be seen as 20,000, correct, by statement of P&L. Bank is always with the selling price, and loss will be for statement of P&L. The second effect of these two amounts now, sale of machinery. Investing activity, it has to be added over there. Sale of machinery. Amount is 40,000, right? And there was a loss also. Losses are to be added in the adjustment part. Let us write over there. Loss on sale of machinery. Okay. Amount is 20,000. And next is dividend paid. Dividend paid is 30,000. When you talk about dividend paid, by default it has to be financing activity. I shall write over here dividend paid. Amount can be seen as 30,000. And I need to deduct this, right? 30,000 has been deducted. Now the second effect of this is over here, correct? So dividend paid amount 30,000. Okay, dividend paid is done. Now over here, taxes paid is given. Okay, so right, when you pay taxes, the entry is very simple. Tax account debited to cash account. Taxes to cash. So we have to prepare a tax account wherein like the opening and closing balance is 25 and 30. I have done the needful. Opening balance can be seen as 25, closing balance can be seen as 30. Now, taxes paid can be seen as 28,000. So paid part has to go on the debit side in the ledger. You can see that to bank, the amount paid by us 28,000. And when you talk about taxes paid during the year, the taxes paid, operating activity, fourth part over here, 28,000. Right, income tax paid. That's all for the adjustments. So now once we are done with the adjustments, let us close the two ledger accounts. So this is the total over here, 5,60,000, right? This 560 has to be taken on the debit side. Then the difference in this ledger, 3 lakh jayega to 2,60,000, right? It's a purchase of machinery. Very common now. Purchase of machinery has to go to reduction part over here. Purchase of machinery. Amount was 2,60,000, right? Okay, that's fine. So we're done with the machinery account. Now provision for tax account. Let us get the total. Total is 58. The difference over here, 58 minus 25 will be 33,000. The provision has to be made for the same. Provision रखना है तो statement of P&L. So over here, after dividend paid, I shall write over here provision for tax. Right? Amount was 33,000. Okay. So we are done with the adjustments. We are done with the ledger accounts. Now let us focus on the balance sheet. Share capital 2,50,000 से 3,50,000 हो गया. It has increased. That shows the issue of share capital. Let me put it in financing activity, and I shall add over there issue of share capital. Right? Amount is 2,50,000 to 3,50,000, 1 lakh rupees. Okay, reserves and surplus. Okay, there is no notes to accounts for this. Because notes to accounts is not there, the difference has to be taken as balance of statement of P&L. Closing minus opening, 1,50,000 minus 1 lakh. That will be 50,000. Right? After that, long-term borrowings, note number 1. Let us check that. It is again debentures, 1,50,000 to 2 lakh. Debentures has increased. That means it shows the issue of debentures. So let us put it over there. In the financing activity, issue of debentures. Amount is 50,000. But again, that rate, okay, rate has to be taken care of, right? Rate is 10%, and this 10% will be calculated on opening balance. Opening balance is 1,50,000. So 1,50,000 ka 10% is 15,000. We need to pay interest on this amount. The interest paid, again financing by way of deduction. Interest on debentures, right? Amount can be seen as 15,000, and 15,000 the interest paid has to go to adjustments, right? Interest on debentures amount is 15,000. Okay, so we are done with the long-term borrowings, right? Trade payables, there is no notes to accounts, but it has increased from 75 to 2,20,000. Can you tell me the difference, please? 1,45,000. Okay, that's fine. Short-term provisions. Okay, the short-term provision is provision for tax. So we are done with that part also. After short-term provisions, it is fixed assets. Note number 3, machinery. We are done with that part also. Inventories. Inventories has increased from 2 lakh to 2,70,000. When asset increases, its outflow, working capital. Let me place over here. Inventories. Inventories by way of deduction. 2 lakh to 2,70,000. 70,000 is the amount. Trade receivables. 160 to 130. It has increased again, so by way of deduction, right? Trade receivables, right? Amount 70,000. Then cash and cash equivalents 40 and 50. So let us put it over here. Opening is 40,000, closing is 50,000, right? So that's all. How much? 50,
113,000.
Okay, 1,13,000. That's correct. Okay, over here, this is 35,000. We added, so this will be 148. 148 के बाद प्लस माइनस करके नेट अमाउंट बताओ कितना आएगा? 145.
5,000.
That's correct. 148 plus 5 is 153.
153.
Out of 153, 28 has to be deducted.
120.
125. 260. अच्छा 10 ज़्यादा है ना? 2,60,000 minus 40. So that will be
Negative 2,20,000.
yes, 2,20,000. Okay, over here financing 150 minus 45. 105. Okay. So 125 plus 105, that's 230. 230 minus 220, that will be 10,000. So 10 plus 40 is 50. Okay. Prepare cash flow statement, okay, of Bata Limited, and this is the balance sheet with us. We have notes to accounts, right? And you can always see that the important part has been marked with red. So I have requested you again and again, which are the things I mark with red over here. Please make sure, like when you practice, you also have this underlining work or rounding of those things. Very, very important. We have one adjustment. Achha, this thing also is very important. Okay, so let me put it in red over here. Unclaimed dividend, right? And this is the part, like this is adjustment, only adjustment. Tax paid includes dividend tax paid rupees 4,000. Okay, tax paid includes dividend tax. Okay, the dividend tax is basically like the TDS is the word to be used over here. Companies are asked to deduct the tax of the shareholders on the dividend to be paid to them, and the tax so deducted by the company has to be paid to the government. That is what is TDS, tax deducted at source. So that tax has been paid by the company to the government now. So what are the amount of taxes has been paid? Out of that, 4,000 is for dividend tax. Now we need to recall the memory, like wherein like I have already told you, like if dividend is a part of the financing activity, so dividend tax has to be a part of financing activity. Okay, then let us see how much amount of tax has been paid. We are not given any hint for taxes paid during the year, right? So, but I'm sure we are given some provision for tax account. We can see that over here, short-term provisions can be seen, right? I already selected that part on the left-hand side. Short-term provisions, tax is there, right? And there is no other information. So I'm sure like we remember that by default the assumption is this opening balance has to be paid and the closing balance has to be made. So we can see that 18,000 is the opening balance. Let us go to the ledger account of provision for tax, which is always very important. You can see that 18 opening and 22 is closing. That is what I have already mentioned over there. Now opening balance has to be paid. This is someone that I need to pay. When you talk about taxes paid during the year, that is 18,000, and we have the adjustment that this tax paid includes dividend tax of rupees 4,000, right? So out of 18,000, if 4,000 is dividend tax, let me put it over here, dividend tax 4,000. So the remaining amount 14,000, okay, so that will be the income tax paid. Okay, we are done with the adjustment. The effect in tax account. Okay, then let us go for the second effect now. Dividend tax of rupees 4,000 can be seen, right? So as I told you, dividend is a part of financing, so dividend tax has to go to financing activity. So it is paid amount. So let me write in the deduction part. Okay, so this is dividend tax paid, right? And the amount is 4,000. Okay, now the second amount was income tax paid rupees 14,000, right? Let us go to income tax paid. We know like this is the fourth part in the operating activity, 14,000. Okay, so basically the two amounts were there, 4 and 14. We are done with that. 4,000 financing outflow, income tax paid, fourth part operating outflow, right? We are done with that. Let us get the total and close the account. So this will be 22 plus 18, right? So that will be 40,000, and the difference now that will be 22,000. Okay, that means this shows the amount of tax provision has been made for the tax, right? 22,000. When tax provision is made, so we need to go to the first part of operating activity, and let me write over there as tax provision, right? And the amount is 22,000, correct? Now let us go through the balance sheet. In balance sheet now, we can see the share capital. Share capital has increased from 2 lakh to 3 lakh, right? When share capital has increased, it shows the issue of share capital. Financing, add. So let me put it over there. Financing, add over there. Issue of share capital, right? Amount is 1 lakh. Okay. Now reserves and surplus. Can you tell me, like, because we don't have any notes to accounts, what this balance has to be taken as? Anyone?
Balance of statement of P&L.
Very good. So let me put it over there. Closing minus opening, 95 minus 40 is 55,000. Now over here, long-term borrowings. Okay, note number 1. Let us go to long-term borrowings. We can see that it's a bank loan given. The amount is 3 lakh and 3 lakh. There is no change in the amount. So when there is no change in the amount, we need not to entertain this type of particular amounts in the cash flow statement. मतलब इसका कोई भी cash flow में effect नहीं आता, right? But again, this 10%. Okay, so this is 10% given to us. So we need to calculate interest on long-term borrowings. So interest at the rate of 10% on the opening balance, 3 lakh ka 10% will be 30,000. The effect is very, very simple. We need to go to adjustment part. We need to add over there interest on bank loan. Okay. Amount is 3 lakh ka 10%, that is 30,000. We know like it's the amount paid on borrowings. So let us put it as by way of deduction over here. Interest on bank loan, right? Amount 30,000. Okay. Next is after long-term borrowings, trade payables. We can see note number 2. Let us go to note number 2. Trade payables, generally the adjustment is given, notes to account is given. So over there we just find the two items, creditors and bills payable. Creditors can be seen as like 20,000 to 35,000. Creditors have increased. Any increase in liability, inflow, working capital, Let me put it over there. Creditors, right? Amount 20 to 35, that's 15,000. Then is bills payable 20 to 18. It is reduced, so it will be shown by way of reduction over here. Bills payables, right? Amount will be 20 to 18, that's 2,000. Okay, we continue. After trade payables, other current liability. Now, this is the reason like why I have selected this sum. Other current liability, unclaimed dividend. Proposed dividend and unclaimed dividend are the two amounts which have to be taken together. For proposed dividend, repeatedly I have told you, like this is nowadays as a part of the contingent liability, right? And the opening balance, that is the amount of the last year, will have to be paid in current year, right? By default, we assume that 20,000 has been paid. But when we just have a look on this amount, that is unclaimed dividend, right? Unclaimed dividend can be seen as it was 10,000 earlier and now it is not there. What does this reduction in unclaimed dividend refers to?
It would be paid in the year.
Yes. So now we can see that like it's very, very easy basically. Dividend is there, unclaimed dividend is there, like it was balance of 10,000 the last year, but now in the current year it is not seen. मतलब clear cut indication है कि last year amount था और हमने इस साल pay कर दिया होगा. So let us see how much dividend we have paid. This is the dividend of the current year, like we need to pay it, and the balance of unclaimed dividend also. Okay, that's 20,000. So 20 plus 10 is basically 30,000 is the amount of dividend paid. So let us go to financing activity and write over there dividend paid, right? The amount of 20 plus 10, that's 30,000. Let me put it over here so that like you also understand it better way. 20,000 plus 10,000, that's 30,000. Okay, so please take care of this. How much provision must be made for dividend? 20,000 or 30,000?
20,000.
20,000, that's very correct. Because if this unclaimed dividend was not there, तो ये पता है कि like 20,000 का ही like paid and made का फंडा है, correct? तो 20,000 ही pay करना है, 20,000 का ही provision रखना है. Let us go to third part, D, taxes paid, right over here. Dividend proposed, and that will be 20,000, right? After the current liabilities, now short-term provisions, tax. We are done. We were having the ledger account. We are done with that part. Assets, non-current assets, fixed assets can be seen. Fixed assets, note number 4. Note number 4 mein we have two accounts with us. One is plant, other is land and building. Okay, the land and building has increased from 2 lakh to 2 lakh 50. Okay, the increase in fixed assets, tangible fixed assets shows purchase. So let me put it over here. Purchase of land and building. Purchase of land and building amount is 50,000, right? Plant, we can see that it's a decrease, right? Plant is 276 and now it is 237. How much is the difference? 76, 39 I think. Okay, the reduction in the fixed tangible assets is taken as depreciation. So let us write the depreciation over here. In the adjustment part, let us add over there depreciation on plant, right? Amount is 39,000. Okay, so we are done with fixed assets, tangible. Intangible asset is note number 5. The note number 5 can be seen for branding. Branding has also decreased from 30 to 20. Any reduction in intangible asset is amortization. So branding amortized is a loss, has to be added. Let me put it over there again. Branding amortized, right? 10,000. Done. After intangible assets, non-current investments. Okay. The non-current investments, the opening balance was not there, but the closing balance can be seen as 1,50,000. Okay, that shows the increase in investment, increase in asset, that shows the outflow of cash. We have purchase investments, investing activity, outflow. So let us put it over there. Purchase of non-current investments, right? Amount is 1,50,000. Okay. So we are done with the tangible, intangible and non-current investments. Now inventories. Inventories can be seen as 50,000 to 58,000, right? 50 to 58. It has increased. Increase in asset outflow, but being a current asset has to go to working capital, third part. Okay. Asset increases, outflow. Inventories, outflow, 8,000. Okay. After that, trade receivables, 40 to 45. It has increased. Again, increase in asset shows outflow. Let us put it over here again. Trade receivables, 40 to 45, 5,000. Okay. Finally, we have cash and cash equivalents, 12 and 10. Let me put it as opening and closing. Opening is 12, closing is 10, right? So we are done. Okay, after the balance sheet, we need to have a check on the notes to accounts also, bank loan, creditors, unclaimed dividend, pending proposed dividend is also done. Okay, so basically we are done with the sum. Okay, so let us get the totals and all. Yes, 97. Okay.
79,000.
Yes. Okay. Operating profit before working capital.
1,76,000.
176.
26. Okay. Over here now.
Zero.
176 minus 14.
162.
Okay. Over here, investing activity, there is nothing to add. Deduct 2 lakh rupees, right?
2 lakh.
Yes, thank you. 2 lakh rupees. Now, financing activity.
36,000.
64, 36 here. Okay, now A plus B plus C, 162 and 36 is
Negative 2,000.
198. 198.
Negative 2,000.
Yeah. Negative 2,000 rupees. Minus 2 plus 12 is 10. Okay, so that's all for the sum. Okay. So let us start with. You can see that the balance sheet is given, notes to accounts is given, and adjustments are given, right? And I'm already done with my homework. I have prepared the formats also, and I'm done with the ledger accounts also, right? First adjustment, right? First adjustment can be seen for during the year, a machine costing rupees 90,000, book value is 80,000, was sold at a loss of 40%. Now over here, you have to make sure along with machinery, are we given accumulated depreciation account, that's provision for depreciation account? If not, then we need to focus on book value, right? So let us see this. Machine costing 90, book value 80, was sold at a loss of 40%. The point is now machinery can be seen over there in fixed assets, and let us see the accumulated depreciation account. Okay, that is not seen anywhere. Provisions is not given to us, so there is no chance of having any provision for depreciation. Accumulated depreciation account. So it is at its book value. So because the account is at its book value, the cost price is of no use to us. It is of no use to us. So book value can be seen over there. 80,000 was sold at a loss of 40%. Can you tell me what is the amount of loss over here? 80,000 come 40%, right? So that will come to 32,000. So 32,000 is a loss. Book value is 80. So basically, the selling price is 48.
48.
Right? Okay. So 80 ka 40% is 32. Deduct that, the remaining is 48. So let us write these two values in machinery account on the credit side. I have machinery account with me by bank account, by the selling price, and by statement of P&L, right? This will show me the loss amount. Okay. So now by bank is 48,000 and loss amount is 32. Okay. It's very common adjustment. Let us have the second effect of this. The sale of machinery. Sale of machinery, we know it has to go to investing activity and has to be added over there, right? Sale of machinery amount is 48,000 and there is a loss. Losses are to be added in adjustments. Okay. Loss on sale of machinery rupees 32,000. Okay, so we are done with this. Now after that, the second is depreciation charged during the year on machine was 30,000. Depreciation charged, so we know like the effect and the entry is very simple. Depreciation to machinery, so let us write depreciation 30,000 in adjustments, add over there. Depreciation on machinery, okay, 30,000, and this 30,000 has to go to machinery account on the credit side. Okay, so let us write over here by depreciation, because this is at its book value, so all the amounts need to come over there. 30,000. Okay. This is an adjustment. It's very important. 10% debentures were converted into equity shares. Now, adjustment is very simple because this is a conversion. Yes, because this is a conversion, so no flow of cash is going to take place. No flow of cash. I repeat again, because this is conversion, no flow of cash. Okay, no inflow, no outflow of cash. Because ये है कि जो डिबेंचर होल्डर्स हैं, उनको हम पैसे ना दे के उनको हम अपनी ही कंपनी के शेयर्स दे रहे हैं. Right, that's conversion. Okay, so let us see this. How is this going to be getting the effect in the ledger accounts? Cash flow में इसका effect कहीं नहीं आएगा. Okay, let us see the value of debentures. Debentures can be seen as long-term borrowings. Note number 3, 10% debentures. We can see the values over there. It was 2 lakh earlier and now it is 1 lakh 80. So there is a reduction of 20,000. This reduction of 20,000 is nothing but the redemption. Reduction is redemption, right? How are these debentures redeemed? By way of conversion, right? The entry for this conversion is very simple. Debentures are getting converted to debentures account debited to equity share capital. So debentures of 20,000 are getting converted. So I'll move to debenture account and write over there to equity share capital 20,000, and this debentures, because they are getting converted into equity, I'll have to come on the equity on the credit side of equity share capital account and credit that by debentures. This is a simple ledger posting of the entry, right? Amount is 20,000. ये 20,000 कैसे आया? I'm sure like you have understood the difference in the ledger account, right? 2 lakh का 1 lakh 80 हो गया, but that way like we can get it from there. Okay, so this is 20,000. Right, the debentures have been converted into equity. So we are done with that part. Now let us go with the next adjustment also. I'll let you know the effect in the cash flow statement, like how it is to be shown. I'll come to that point. This is now fourth adjustment. Dividend paid was 80,000 for the year 2018. Dividend paid has been given to us. This is also important adjustment. Now when dividend paid is given, right, so we have to go to financing activity, show it by way of deduction over there. Dividend paid, right? Rupees 80,000, right? And dividend paid is outflow of cash. Dividend is a part of dirt, so we need to put it over there. Dividend paid and amount is 80,000, right? Okay. So we are done with the 4 adjustments, right? Now moving towards the ledger accounts. Let us close the ledger accounts one by one. If you can help me out with the totals and all. The total on the credit side will be machine account 110, so 655 probably. Okay, get me the difference please. कितना आएगा?
3,35,000.
3,35,000. Okay. Okay, and this has to be to bank account, right? To bank account and by way of purchase, right? Okay, this purchase of machinery again has to go to investing activity, outflow of cash. Purchase of machinery, right? Investing activity में minus करेंगे. कितना amount था? 335, right? Okay. 3,35,000. ठीक है, done. The second ledger account is debentures. Debentures can be seen as 2 lakh and 2 lakh because हमने उसका difference ही ले लिया था. So there is no difference after the redemption of debentures. Equity share capital. The total on the debit side can be seen as 7,50,000. So over here 7,50,000. Now how much is the difference? 3,30,000. Okay, this 3,30,000 on the credit side of equity share capital account, it shows the issue of shares, right? Issue of shares. Now issue of shares 3,30,000 has to go to financing activity. So let us go to financing activity, add over there issue of share capital. Issue of share capital हमने यहाँ पे लिख देना है 3,30,000, करेक्ट। अब यहाँ पर क्या करते हैं, अगर ये जब भी कन्वर्जन का पार्ट दिया होता है तो पीपल लाइक टू शो लाइक दिस, difference in equity share capital can be seen as 3,50,000 actually, right? ये आप देखोगे लेजर अकाउंट को इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल का, ये 4 लाख था पहले, अब ये हो गया 7,50,000. दिस शोज की 3,50,000 के शेयर्स इश्यू हुए हैं, राइट? बट आउट ऑफ 3,50,000 शेयर्स इश्यूड 20,000 तो वो कन्वर्जन वाला था, राइट? इफ यू रिमेंबर दिस एडजस्टमेंट अभी हमने किया ये few minutes back, ये वाला एडजस्टमेंट डिबेंचर्स को कन्वर्ट किया था, राइट? सो 3,50,000 में से 20,000 यहाँ माइनस कर दो आप, अगर हम लेजर अकाउंट नहीं बनाते हैं तो, राइट? तो दिस कैन बी शोन 3,50,000 minus 20 of conversion, so that gives me the net effect of 3,30,000. तो preferably यही शो करना है. लेजर अकाउंट आपको बताने का रीजन was very clear, so that we are conceptually getting stronger, so that there is no second thought for the things, right? We continue. After the adjustment and the ledger accounts, it's very simple process to continue with the balance sheet and the notes to accounts. First is share capital. Share capital, let us check that. Equity share capital we are done with. Preference share capital can be seen 60,000 and rupees 1 lakh. Okay, so equity preference share capital has also increased. Now, if preference share capital has increased, that also shows the shares must have been issued. So when shares are issued, let me put it over there. Issue of preference share capital amount will be 40,000, right? Now this is something very important again to be taken care of. I always say that the rate and date plays very important role. Now point is, in this sum particularly, okay, this rate of dividend has to be ignored. The reason is because we are given dividend paid over here as an adjustment, right? We are done with this adjustment. So whenever dividend paid is given to us, at that time no rate of dividend from the balance sheet or notes to account has to be taken care of. This dividend paid includes the dividend on equity share capital, dividend on preference share capital, everything, right? Continuing ahead, after equity share and preference share capital, we have note number 2 for reserves and surplus. Let us see this reserves and surplus. We can see that general reserve, it was 70 earlier, now it is 50. Reserves have reduced. When reserves are reduced, we have to write it over here in the dirt part, okay? General reserve utilized, right? Use किया ना हमने, reserve कम हो गया. How much? 20,000. Okay, so this has to be negative. Next is statement of P&L. Closing minus opening, 120 minus 170, right? Closing is 120, opening is 1,70,000. The difference is 50,000, right? But negative. Closing minus opening. So let me put it negative over here, 50,000, right? After that, long-term borrowings. Note number 3. Note number 3 is for debentures. अब debentures में again ये rate आ गया, right? तो rate को हमने भूलना नहीं है. Rate and date plays an important role in accounting, right? So 10%. Tell me on which amount I should calculate interest, on 2 lakh or 1,80,000?
2 lakh.
Yes, 2 lakh. So because the date of redemption is not known, the date of conversion is not known, so by default we assume it to be the last date of the year, right? So that's why opening balance. So 2 lakh ka 10% is 20,000. Let me put it over here. Financing, interest on ventures, right? Amount will be 20,000. 2 lakh ka 10%. Now interest on debentures is an expense. Being an expense, it has to be added over here. Let me put it in adjustment part. Interest on debentures 20,000. Okay. After long-term borrowings, fixed assets, tangible assets, note number 4. In this note number 4, I can see three fixed assets are given to us. Machinery account we are done with. Computer, we can see that it has decreased from 1 lakh to 90, depreciate हुआ होगा. Furniture 40 to 35, ये भी depreciate हुआ होगा. So computer and furniture depreciation, right? Let us put it over there. Depreciation on computer, right? And next is furniture. The amount on difference of computer was 10, furniture is 5. Okay, let us check that again. Computer difference is 1 lakh and 90, ठीक है 10, 40 and 35, 5. Okay. After fixed assets tangible, we have intangible assets. Note number 5. We can see that it's computer software. Computer software has decreased. Any intangible asset reduces, it is amortization. So let us take it over here again as amortization. Computer software amortized, right? Amount is 10,000, right? Okay. So we are done with this part. Current assets, current investments is given. Current investments, I'm sure like you remember this. This has to be taken because there is no additional information कि इसमें क्या है क्या नहीं है. So by default we assume it to be the cash and cash equivalents, right? Please remember. Inventories now it has increased from 2,10,000 to 2,50,000. Inventories increases, asset increases, outflow purchase किया होगा हमने तो working capital में आकर by way of deduction inventories, right? Amount has to be negative. Difference is 40,000, 210 to 250. Trade receivables 140 से 190 हो गया, increase हुआ. Again current asset increases, so outflow. Let me put it over there. Trade receivables, right? And amount, how much is the amount? 140 to 180, 50,000. Okay. After that, it is cash and cash equivalent. So let us take the opening and the closing balance. Opening can be seen as 15 plus 35. Okay, that will be 50,000 as opening balance over here. And closing is 20,000 plus 40,000. So 20 plus 40 is 60,000. So let us put it over here, right? Let us close this, right? And yes, get me the amounts please over here. 10,000. Anyone who can reply this calculation?
Sir, 1,07,000.
1,07,000. Okay. The total.
So total 1,17,000.
1,17,000. Okay.
और सर नीचे कैश जनरेटेड फ्रॉम ऑपरेशंस 27,000 आएगा टोटल.
ये पहले 90,000.
ये 90.
हाँ लिखना पड़ेगा ना बेटा. Okay तो अब
Yes, sir.
27, right?
Yes, sir.
Income tax paid नहीं था, तो this will be 27,000. पॉजिटिव है तो कैश फ्लो ही रहेगा. ओके. इन्वेस्टिंग का नेट अमाउंट बोलो कितना आएगा? 335.
Sir, 2,87,000.
नेगेटिव रहेगा.
Sir, 2,87,000.
ओके. कैश यूज ठीक है. फाइनेंसिंग का बोलो बेटा.
Sir, इसका 2,70,000.
2,70,000. पॉजिटिव ठीक है. कैश फ्लो ठीक है. अब 270 plus 27 is 297. 297 में से 287 minus करेंगे तो difference will be
10,000.
10,000.
10 plus 50 is 60, right? So we are done with the sum. Okay.